It's go time. Things are happening.
No, I didn't even think about that. Hey guys, we're Evan and Katelyn.
And today we made this Resin Geode table.
So before we do any of the fun geode resin stuff, we have to process this cookie. First step, we need to flatten it out, but we don't have the tools to do that in our shop. So we're gonna go to our friend Jason's shop from Helmwood Urban Lumber, and he's gonna help us out.
Like making chopsticks.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Jason's also the one who got us in touch with Chris from Harvest Lumber Company, which is where we actually got the slab from, and we'll have links to both of their websites in the description below. But for now, let's get to flattening the slab.
So we flatten this with a router sled. It's basically two rails and a sled that sits across them, and you go back and forth with your router little by little until the whole thing is flat. The most important thing is to make sure everything is level and parallel. It creates a lot of dust, and it takes a long time, but it totally worked.
So we flattened almost all of it. And I know you're saying, almost, what are you doing? There's these two little bits right here. This is gonna be the bottom where the legs go.
You're telling everyone? That's our secret. You're not supposed to tell people.
I mean, no worries, we're just flipping it.
Yeah,
Nothing to see here.
It's 100% done, not 98%.
All right, so while we're doing the final sanding of this, we're also gonna be removing all of the, I thought I could get one. Oh, all of the bark.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. After many long hours, the slab is done. And the next thing that we were gonna do is power carve into it, which is a little bit painful. So we took out our inspiration for these guys that we made here a little bit ago, and we're gonna see how they mesh together.
So these are resin geodes we made a couple weeks ago to practice for this exact project.
It's just
like too underwhelming.
It's too underwhelming.
This is a better size.
Still feels like a little bit not enough.
Yeah.
Big kahuna.
This is gonna be way too big. We do wanna do crystals in the middle and like actually do a cutout like this one.
I don't know, it's not that much too big.
I think it's way too big. Imagine all of this wood gone.
Maybe just leave a border 3 inches thick. Oh my gosh, that's so much smaller. What if we photoshopped it or something?
That is a really good idea. Okay, so we decided on a design. We're using the rings of the tree to dictate where our geode outline is gonna be and where the hole is gonna be. I think this will look good.
Even though it feels so wrong to be drilling into this, we're gonna start with the center, get this good, work out from there. To get the hole drilled all the way through properly aligned, I'm gonna extend this 1/4 inch hole all the way through to the back side and then come up from the other side and join the two holes.
Basically dual wielding. Slightly thicker than our hole saw can handle.
Let me see if I can gently persuade it.
Come on! Oh yeah! Yeah! Woo! It pooped. Tree poop is valuable.
So Arbortech is sponsoring this video, and you're gonna be seeing a few of their tools. First up is their mini grinder, which might look a little bit small, but it's really powerful.
The mini grinder can really eat away at material, but you can also sneak up on a precise line.
Woo. Did I get it all off?
No. So the next step is to carve a recessed area out of the cookie so we can pour our resin in there. But before we do the original one, I did some test pieces. We wanted to figure out, should we do a hard edge around that curved recess area, or should it kind of slope out gradually? So you can probably see it best on this one. I think we're gonna do a hard edge because it contains the resin better. We noticed it really easily spills over the sides when you have a gradual pour, and we don't want this kind of mess going on. So I'm gonna do a hard edge, a slight recess. This area we're gonna use our next Arbortech tool. This is the turbo plane. It's the same one we used on our ripple bench, which we'll put a link to that. It cuts on the bottom, but not on the side. So once I have that outside edge defined, I can go deeper without worrying about cutting into my side. It'll just cut down.
Alrighty, let's get some chips flying.
Yeah. We're done carving. It somehow got super late, but we have to pour tonight. So what we're gonna do first is prep a few things. We made sure that this is all level. We're gonna tape off the inside to make sure resin doesn't pool inside here. And we're gonna tape off the underside anywhere that there's cracks so that it doesn't go all the way through and glue this to the wood. And if you have a lot of questions about resins and dyes and all that stuff, we do go into that a lot more in another video. We'll link that below. And we have a video where we just do a resin geode, so we'll link that too. But for now, we'll get taping and then it's resin time.
Ooh! That's too short. There we go.
Is this overboard? I don't know. This is when we go into panic mode.
Yeah, this has about like a 30-minute working time until it turns kind of gel-like. So we gotta go. This beginning bit is always like one of the most nerve-wracking because like the timer has started, but we haven't poured anything yet.
Because also like, it feels like it takes forever to mix.
I know, and you're like, ah, things are happening. I'm gonna start with the first pour of clear. Ooh, look at the color change.
Pretty, it's like finishing it, but.
Permanently.
Permanently.
I'm gonna use the hot air gun? Words. I have this feeling we might need to pour more than we think. Look, it just like absorbed, because end grain is thirsty.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
All right, I think that's good. You can start doing that.
Okay.
And I'm gonna mix it up another batch of clear.
Going relatively heavy on the white because
it always gets squished.
Yeah, we always need more white. So it always looks terrible.
At the very beginning,
At the very beginning.
What is this?
Did a child do this? Oh, this looks so bad. I'm gonna try to do this black right along the very edge. We mixed some real pretty colors.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and start.
Yeah, you wanna do like outwards from the center? Okay.
Alrighty.
You pass me that green ink.
Green ink?
I'm gonna make some cells. The alcohol ink does crazy stuff.
Whoa, look at that bloom going
weird.
on there. It's crazy. Might need to do more, because otherwise it's gonna look like a face with two eyes and a mouth.
Give me more resin. Okay, wait.
That's cool. Whoa, Katelyn, look at that.
Whoa, that makes it look super geode-y.
Super Geode. Light a little bit more.
Yeah.
Looks more like eyes.
I think let's flame it.
Ah.
We did it. We can't touch it anymore.
I want to. It's so hard to stop. Super excited though.
Yeah.
Whoa. I'm excited to see how this edge did.
Wait. I want to like admire it for a second.
It'll be even cooler once this is gone though.
You're right. Oh my gosh, this looks amazing.
Oh yeah, that looks so much cooler.
Man.
Wow, that's looking like something.
It's probably kind of hard to tell, but there's definitely little cells that appeared overnight, little concentrated areas. You have like these large cells created by the gold drops we did.
And I love how the gold is kind of like at that edge right here.
Speaking of edges, this wasn't level.
We made sure that this is all level.
So this side is higher than this side. Are we gonna try to sand this down at all, or do you think just pour clear over it?
I think pour clear over it, but before we do that, we need to add some crystals on the inside.
Actually, I think we should.
I sneezed.
Bless you. I think we should sand this before we do the crystals because it's gonna be hard to get dust out from the crystal area and we don't wanna seal it in forever, so.
There's a little bit of an edge from where the tape contacted. We're just gonna knock down that sharp edge real quick.
So before we glue the crystals down, we're actually gonna paint the inside of this sparkly white so that if any of it shows between the crystals, it's not gonna be dark and contrasty. It should all just kind of merge together. So we have some white acrylic paint. Some glitter. How much glitter is too glitter? Too glitter.
How much glitter is too glitter? Unicorn poop. We're going for that goo video type content now.
God dang it, it's just covering my glitter. Now it's just lumpy paint.
Maybe it will reveal itself when we paint it.
No, it's lumpy now!
Here, just try it.
It's lumpy. Why would you make me do this?
Attempt number 2.
And now we're gonna brush more watery paint into the hole. Should we have like not done pure white? Do we have any gold paint? Attempt 3. Yeah, that looks better.
That looks a lot better. But we're about to get a little crazy.
We're gonna add a little bit of teal and green and some of the colors that are in there.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I like it. Can I add a little surprise? Some
What's
glitter.
your plan here?
Whoa! But look at that! Look at that!
Oh, it looks magical!
Oh, that looks so good!
Well, now we have to decide how we're gonna do crystals. I don't know if we need to record all of this. Because we don't really know what we're doing yet.
BRB!
So what I'm thinking is a layer of larger crystals at the bottom. As we get closer and closer to the top, we can do smaller and shorter ones, and
Let's do it.
we'll time lapse it.
So Katelyn's been having a hard time gripping these little ones, so I have an idea.
Ooh.
Ooh, you got it.
Ah, dang it.
Here, here, you hold this.
You're like those crazy hot glue hack videos.
Hot glue to the end. Now let's try it again with the modified ones.
Oh my gosh, that's freaking perfect.
Ooh, that looks so pretty. Oh my
spent
gosh.
Probably the last 2 hours of my life individually placing crystals. Look at how freaking cool this is.
It's worth it.
It looks like there's an actual gem all the way through this tree trunk.
Yeah, it looks like there's like a magical tree that was growing inside of the normal tree.
And I'm so glad that we painted it because you can see the gradient of that teal to the white underneath and behind the crystals.
Yeah. Also, if it had just been wood, then it would have been very evident that it's just a layer.
Okay, so this is finally done.
Yeah.
Now we're going to do another clear coat of epoxy over the entire thing and somehow figure out the sides. I don't know if we know what we're doing there yet.
Let's just do epoxy over the sides, let it flow over.
It's not gonna flow over. Some of these sides go kind of.
We'll paint it on. Let's figure it out as we go.
Are you ready?
I am ready. We are going to be using epoxy again, the same epoxy that we used for the initial pour, and hopefully this will unify everything.
Well, the reason we're using epoxy instead of varnish is because since it wasn't perfectly level last time, some spots were a little low and some spots were a little high, so we're hoping the epoxy, which is a little bit thicker, will even it all out.
Alrighty, let's go. So funny. You remember how like a few seconds ago I was like, oh, I mixed up plenty. I mixed up extra.
Oh Lord, that's it?
Totally fine. That's it. Here, I'm gonna spread it a little bit and you use the heat gun.
Okay.
Oh, it's a thirsty cookie. Look at this crack right here just soaking it up.
I can't look, I'm on a mission.
Oh my gosh, remember when I was like, we should get the next bottle?
Is it out?
Or can you get this area over here?
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh my gosh. Just a bit more. Mix up more. Alrighty, well, we are so intent on getting everything finalized that our camera died, but everything is looking really, really nice.
It's looking like 98% good. It's really close. There were a couple areas on the top where the wood was a little extra thirsty and soaked in the epoxy. So what we're gonna do is actually cover those with varnish. We could do epoxy, but we don't really wanna do a whole nother layer and cover up some of these natural places where it's sunk into the bark inclusion and the cracks, because we really like that. So we're gonna see if this works. If it doesn't work, I guess we'll just cover it with epoxy anyway, but hopefully this will work. And we're also gonna use the varnish on the outside edges.
Let's do it. Alrighty guys, this is looking great after 2 coats of varnish. We're just gonna flip it over, clean up the bottom, and add the legs. And then we drop it.
No! Which way are you flipping it?
This way.
We need to make sure there's no goop on here. That's gonna be tropical themed.
Alrighty. I just gotta remove a little bit of tape. Alrighty, for the legs, we wanted something easier. Lowe's hooked us up with some metal legs that they're selling. Oh, nice.
Those look perfect. It's gonna be really hard to tell without like flipping it. How does that look?
Those are upside down. Well, thank you guys for sticking with us through this whole video. I know it was pretty long, so you get bonus points for things.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye. All the way through to the back side. Oh, do we do the back side?
Oh, it's still recording. God dang it. Did it record the first one?
Like it has to peak?
Yeah.